Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Episode 106 of Squares Roundtable Podcast. How we doing? I hope you are well. I am Mike Boyle, and with me is Ivan.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
I caught him in mid-cough. And
Ivan sounds like he's having a middle having a bowl.
and with me also is Jeff Stein.
Hey.
And
how are
Jeff's here,
y'all?
too, I guess.
Yeah, fuck him. No.
How you doing, Ivan? How was your weekend?
Busy.
Good.
Very busy. Let's see. But let's not start with me. Let's start with Jeff first. How was your week?
Before we start with anybody, let's do something a little fun.
Okay. I like fun things.
Me too.
All right.
Like
So
rubber dolls.
you can pick the top three. Top rentals, pick three of the following from 1989.
1989?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3 Men and a Baby, Coming to America, Twins, Crocodile Dundee 2, Bruce, Die Hard, Big, Beetlejuice, Fish Called Wanda, Cocktail, Bull Durham.
Beetlejuice, Die Hard, and let's see.
You want me to run through them again?
Coming to America.
Okay.
Those were my three, actually.
Are they really?
Yeah. Those are
Interesting.
the three I replied to in the chat,
Okay.
in your thread.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. That seems to be the most popular,
Collection of films.
popular collection. I was a little surprised. Well, no, because, like, for example, like, look, let's all be honest. Die Hard is always going to be...
Best Christmas movie ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Die Hard, of the ones in this list, I think Die Hard's like an automatic. You know,
That's
if you're
a
not
given.
picking... If you're not picking Die Hard, you better have a really good reason.
Like I do. Like, I've never seen it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And I would do that on purpose because you fucking kidding me. I mean, you've never seen Die Hard.
Although if he didn't say just kidding, we still would have believed him.
Yeah, you would.
I know we would have. That's the sad part. Well, ever since Scott told us about how he hadn't seen Airplane, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? We're not
Surely we
talking
can't be
about something
serious."
new." Yeah.
Well, it was just one of those situations where, yeah, it was Leslie Nielsen movie. It's kind of it's something you must see because it's Leslie Nielsen. But I just never got
really.
around.
I mean, he had a good part. It's
I
like
was gonna
Naked
say,
Gun
it's
was
not.
more like his bag.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and of course, the Naked Gun, and Naked Gun 2.5, and all
Right.
that. I did see
I mean,
that.
Leslie Nielsen was a bit player in that movie.
But that was
just
the
like-
one that, for me, I mean,
Although I will tell you, I will tell you, I don't know how that's going to air ever again with that white woman who sits there and goes,
Yeah, I
I know
jive.
jive.
Yeah.
I speak jive. Oh, Jesus.
I picked the same three. Beetlejuice because it's Michael Keaton, great comedy.
Yes. Great comedy.
And of course, Coming to America was one of the best. Like I remember seeing that in the theater. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the sequel.
So
Yeah.
I'm the one who went away from where it seems like the majority went. So obviously I picked Die Hard. The other two I chose were Bull Durham.
You're a sports guy. I can see that.
You're the sports guy, so yeah, that would be your thing.
Well, Bull Durham's beyond a sports movie, though. I mean, that's really is one of those movies where,
And I can see why you would take Bull Durham, because it's got all the elements of everything you love in a movie.
yeah,
It's got sports. It's got.
It doesn't have laser robot fights though.
yeah, but it's got
No.
Nuke Lelouch.
Thank you. Thank
It's got Nuke Lelouch.
Yeah.
So there you go. And half naked Susan Sarandon. So there you go.
I just never found her attractive. Not
That-
even
that's
Bull
fair.
Durham.
That's fair. Although I will tell you,
But she was in her.
like-
She looked.
yeah. Well, there's the one scene where she's sitting there wearing like garters and like a catcher's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good with this.
Yeah.
My other choice was the classically underrated Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah, a friend of mine was a big fan of that movie.
That's the movie that, quite
He'd
frankly,
always, I remember when he finally had to show me the scene because he had it on VHS, but he'd always say, "It's Ken coming to kill me."
yeah. That's the movie. That's really the breakout movie for Kevin Kline. Is A Fish Called Wanda. He is truly spectacular in that movie and downright hilarious. And Jamie Lee Curtis is phenomenal in that movie too.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I agree. It is underrated.
Yeah, that's that. Like I said, that's why I went there. It's funny.
Okay,
of the ones. Go ahead.
Yeah, of the ones that Mike and I picked, and then you came with The Fish Called Wanda, and just like yeah.
That's
not a wrong answer. Yeah.
No, there are no wrong answers here.
I thought what was interesting. Here's what I thought was interesting. The two that got neglected quite a bit that I was kind of surprised about. Twins, which was a good movie.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day because that's actually the outdoor theater out by me is doing an Arnold two for weekend. So Kindergarten Cop and Twins playing at my theater, my outdoor theater out here by me.
Yeah,
and
that's vintage
I'd explained to a friend of mine who hadn't seen it.
Oh wow!
It's like, my name is Julius and I'm your twin brother.
Yeah,
it was funny.
I mean, that's the height of Arnold's moved from like I'm
Conan
going to kill everything
yeah.
Then how can you not love Danny DeVito? Come on.
He was great in that too.
The other one that seems like it got kind of slighted, and it's always kind of surprised me because, in fairness, it is a really good movie. Was Big.
Yeah, that was okay. It was a little too heavy, a little too dramatic. At the end was kind of sad. He lost the girl, but he got the kid got his life back. He had to choose, and that's kind of sad.
Well, like I said, I just thought it was interesting. I mean, because let's be honest, nobody
had some great
thinking...
comedic moments, and us being in the toy community, we all do the scene saying, "I don't get it,"
Yeah. Well, and look, F.E.O. Schwartz for years had that giant walk on piano for a reason, which is every kid on the planet wanted to go walking in there
and do chopsticks.
do chopsticks because of Big.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because the three movies that are in here that didn't get a lot of play, that didn't really get play at all. Of them, only one of them, in my opinion, kind of deserved it a little bit, which was Three Men and a Baby, which was a phenomenal movie. But,
okay, and I will agree with you on that, Jeff, on that particular. I mean, okay, for what it was,
right.
Three Men and a Baby. Okay, you have to give it to the cats who were invested in this movie. It was very entertaining.
Right.
I mean, on the surface you look at it, Three Men and a Baby. What could there be to it? But then once you get into the movie, you're just like, oh, that's something I didn't think about. So there you go. I mean, no.
The other thing is, I mean, I get it. I get where Mike's coming from, which is. And I get it, because I've had that reaction too sometimes when I see it, where I'm like, if I'm gonna make a choice, that's not like the 10 movies that we just mentioned, that's not one that immediately is gonna pop into the top half. Now,
because Steve Guttenberg is only good in the Police Academy movies.
No, he's really good in this. In fairness,
yeah, okay.
In fairness,
he was in Short Circuit. He was good in those.
And Cocoon. He was okay in Cocoon.
He was good in Short Circuit.
Cocoon was alright. The first one. The second one sucked.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Who is Johnny? Okay.
The one that really, to me, I kind of laugh about, it's like, I don't even know why they put it in here, is really Crocodile Dundee 2.
The second one, not the first one?
No.
Well, the problem is I don't think the first one was, I'm guessing the first one was, 87? So
I think they just wanted to stay within the year frame.
Yeah,
but
the second one was garbage.
I will admit, if if I'm flipping around on cable at like, I don't know, on an afternoon and I'm bored, or at like late at night and Cocktail comes on, I will watch that movie.
Wait a minute. These are top 10 movie rentals in 1989. Where's Batman?
Yeah.
Seriously, now that I'm thinking about it, right, you're 100%
Where the
right.
F is Batman?
Seriously, that's a great question. What was the thought process here?
I think this survey is a little skewed. Don't you think so,
well,
guys?
my guess is that they just picked ones from that year. For all we know, there's a whole bunch.
It didn't come out until October of '89.
But it's still 89, though, Mike. Yeah. Look at it.
No. Batman came out a lot earlier than October of '89.
Well, I remember it was a day in October when I got my
no, because I was in New York over the summer.
It might have been September then.
No, I'm telling you, it was in the summer because I remember.
The movie came out in summer, so it only makes sense that the VHS would come out in late September, early October.
Oh, okay, you mean that way?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, because I saw that at the drive-in theater with my friend Paul. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I was ready for you to say nope.
Actually,
Batman didn't see it.
Yes,
I'm forever haunted.
You kind of are. Some of the choices that you
I don't care. I don't care.
In fairness, I do wonder.
I think Beetlejuice came out in '88.
Right. I do wonder, because keep in mind, back at this point in time, rentals did not come out nearly as fast. So it's possible.
You want to be sure they got the full theatrical run before they put it out on tape.
It's possible Batman didn't come out.
I remember because my mother wanted this copy right away of Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing came out late in the summer of, I forget, it was 87 or whatever it was, 86. And then it wasn't out until February of the next year on VHS.
Yeah. Because it was always a 2 to 3 month lag.
Oh, at
between
least
the film and the release.
Yeah, it depends on some of the really big features. They could go at that time. Batman would be in for it could take a good 5-6 months for Batman to get out of all the theaters.
This list you provided for 89 rentals, it's a good.
No, it's solid.
Like I said, I thought it would be something fun to.
Yeah. Well, that was good. Okay. Now since we're talking about movies, okay?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring something else to the table, all right? Susan Sarandon, Jamie Lee Curtis, or, let's see, Gal Gadot.
What about him?
Okay.
Where is this list coming from?
Okay, no, I'm just out of my head. Which one do you think would make a good Wonder Woman?
The one that is Wonder Woman?
The one that is Wonder Woman.
Right, but I'm saying, yeah, I knew you guys were going to go to her right away. That's why I mentioned her. Okay, so that's...
Susan Sarandon can't be Wonder Woman. Get out of town.
Oh my God, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
You would think that'd be horrible?
She doesn't have the on-screen charisma.
No.
Okay, how about Jamie Lee Curtis? I mean, she came out in True Lies, didn't she?
What superhero one do you think could be a good fit for her?
That's a good question.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking maybe Huntress.
You know what would have been good for her?
What's that?
The problem is that
maybe Catwoman.
These MCU movies came out 20 years too late.
Yeah.
She could have played Black Widow.
Yeah, maybe.
So?
Yeah.
She could have played Black Widow. Without question, she could have been Black Widow.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I
think she'd have done all right.
She'd have been okay.
Okay.
See, so that's, so I figured I'd throw my little curve into that whole situation since we were talking about the movie thing. So, okay. All right. Women fascination in the movies. What's your fascination? What woman really fascinates you?
Fascinating?
Yes. In other words, you see her and it's just this overwhelming feeling of, yeah, this is beautiful. Who's that girl?
Who's that girl?
There you go. Hello?
Go ahead, Mike. Sing
No.
too while you're at it.
Yeah, I was waiting for the encore. Yeah.
Marissa Tomei.
My love.
Marissa Tomei. She killed it in My Cousin Vinny, and I liked her in the Wrestler.
Oh God, that scene in The Wrestler where she's the stripper is just amazing.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
Okay, so Marissa
she played a good actress. She's a good actress who played a stripper.
Yep.
Okay.
You're down on her luck with a heart of gold.
The sad part about The Wrestler is there's a lot of truth to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
There really is.
You find there are lots of truth in certain movies, man.
Yep. It's sad.
Well, no, I mean, it just really, seriously.
Yeah, we've talked about the state of professional wrestling and how a lot of those older
the older guys.
Yeah. Down on her luck at the end.
Who didn't get the big paydays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got art imitating life, and you're kind of like, wow, there's...
they had their one big match in 1 year, and then they're kind of kicked to the curb and living in a trailer.
That's the one thing I will say, which is, it's funny, because there are a lot of people who talk about wrestling these days, and how these guys don't understand what it's like and all that other stuff. And I get it. I get where they're coming from, but I'm thrilled to see that if these guys are smart, even on a short run in one of these big places like the WWE, you can walk away with a lot of money if you were smart.
Right.
And on top of it, if you're smart, you can parlay that into a little bit of an independent circuit career, and you could make a good amount of money and be able to walk away.
Okay, just let me interject right there. But do you think it's true? I mean, do wrestlers make good businessmen, or they don't make good businessmen?
On the majority of them, no.
Yeah, majority of them, no.
See, so here
are you kidding?
A majority of people aren't good businessmen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
are you
kind
kidding?
of like...
Ric Flair has half the reason Ric Flair's doing half the stuff he does is because Ric Flair still owes 6 wives. Maybe 7. I can't remember what number he's on.
He's going for Javier Solis's record of 8. Okay, I get it.
Well, I mean, the point being is I once read an article about the amount of alimony that Ric Flair has to pay amongst all his wives. And I'm literally like, well, this explains why he's still, working.
Working. Yes.
Seriously on a regular basis. And it's only been in the last maybe 5-6 years where he's not really, been working enough where it's finally somebody said, yeah, Rick, you really can't work anymore. They'll pull him around and stuff, but not where it's he'll take I haven't seen him take a bump in a long time. I haven't seen him in a ring in a long time, thank God.
So it's just a situation hasn't presented itself, and the committee who runs these events haven't considered him in a while. So it's okay, what's going to happen when nobody wants you anymore, period.
Well,
and then,
the thing that's interesting is,
again,
we're talking about the some of the bigger promotions WWE or AEW. That doesn't mean that Ric Flair doesn't still, if there's a good enough independent card somewhere around the neighborhood, because Jerry the King Lawler still wrestles.
All right, so you got
that guy's got a heart condition.
Wow,
that's scary, man.
I swear to God, it's seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, not to sound mean. The guy's got a heart condition. That means he's got a 50-50 chance of going out in the ring. The man needs to retire and save himself. Don't you think?
And he's also got to pay rent.
Well, this is true. This is true.
But, example, let me just put this in perspective. Jerry King Lawler has been on WWE television as a commentator.
Okay, so he's got
commentator for 20 on and off for 20 years, maybe longer. So it's it's not like he's not got money coming in. So
okay,
it's
so
like
he still has funds. So he still has.
Oh yeah.
Still,
yeah.
He's got. So you're saying, okay, of the things that he's not doing, he's got other things working where there's always flow. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you, Ivan. As long as we're to switch the subject.
No, go ahead.
Are you aware of the fact that we need to get our asses over to the Vienna beef factory because the one on the north side's leaving?
Yes, I read about that the other day.
I don't think I'm going to get there on time.
Is that the one we went to?
Yeah, that's the one you and
I
went.
thought the building looked familiar.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
man, that place is.
At least I can say I went there once.
Yeah, I went there as a kid.
Yeah, I've gone there quite a bit. I took Julie there too. So yeah, so if you're going to want to get that real Vienna beef, if you want to get those real Vienna dogs, you got till the 3rd. Because after that, no more. So yeah, I mean,
that's this Friday. So
right,
exactly.
No.
So
well, they are
of course,
it's
going to be packed in there until then. So
right, and that's half the reason I don't want to.
Well, they're going to Bridgeport, which I'm hoping.
Oh, they're moving.
Yeah, they're moving to Bridgeport.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. I just hope that they retain the museum and everything else that was part of the allure of the place too. I mean, man, I wonder if they're still going to present the tour. You know, have you ever been on the tour where you got to see how the hot dogs were made?
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't on the tour.
No one wants to know how hot dogs are.
No one ever want to know that.
No, but listen, it's not as weird as it sounds. I mean, well, for a kid, it's fascinating. Okay, granted. So and you're watching how they're like getting the link, the size and everything. Well, again, like I said, it was a childhood thing, something that just kind of popped up in my brain of several dozen times I've been to the Vienna Beef Factory over the years. Next to the Chicago hot dog, man, the Chicago beef, man, that's the next one. And Vienna, to my taste buds, makes the very best.
How long's it been there since?
Oh wow, forever. I think.
I think it's been there at least 80 years, if not more.
Yeah.
That's my guess. That's my guesstimation.
Well, the nice part is they had the restaurant in there, so it's like they made, whether you wanted a hot dog or you wanted a beef sandwich or you wanted you wanted a Reuben or whatever you wanted.
Oh, the Reubens are obscenely good.
Right. It's
you ain't done the Vienna hot dog right until you've hit the factory at least once. Yeah. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, we got a lot of great places that makes a real toasty weenie, but yeah,
toasty weenie.
There you go.
I have a feeling that's the name of the show this week.
So here we go, and you have to have done Vienna, man. That's why I was like, Mike, when you get to the city, let's check out the hot dog place, man. I'm glad that happened.
Yeah,
I'm glad that happened. That made me.
At least they're moving. They're not going away forever. So
right, no, they're just moving to the south side. Okay, that's kind of like going away.
Right. So anyway, yeah,
kind of like going away.
So
don't wear your Cub hat. Don't wear your Cubs hat. Yeah, seriously. Don't.
Once you get over there, that sucks.
Yeah, my dad had an extra White Sox hat. I can wear that in case. Actually, I don't wear ball caps anymore.
No, you used to be a big ball cap cat.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, I should have worn one yesterday. I got a little sunburn. But...
I mean, I wore my hat the other day when it was really hot because I was doing a lot of moving this weekend. So yeah, but that's another time in the story. But yeah, as far as remember the time when you and I went to Vienna for the very time we went to eat the hot dogs to get the hot dogs to take them to DairyCon? Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, man. Those cats that year, they ate themselves a really good dog. I thought the concession stand was a knockout. I mean, okay, granted, the people that pieced it together, I don't know if they made their profits back or not. But personally, just to see the experience of all these cats digging out a Vienna dog, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It made a good time.
Makes me happy. It was cool.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
What's the deal with this figure that you put on the Squares page? This Boba Fett figure.
It's now apparently because they had to neuter the firing gimmick on the Boba Fett figure before it went to production. It was originally going to be a mail away figure, but then the whole thing about the kid who died from the Battlestar Galactica figure, the toy, So they had to neuter the firing gimmick.
Right.
So there's only a few dozen of these that exist, that are known to exist.
Oh, that fires?
The Boba Fett that fires a missile from his back.
Okay.
So that's why it's going for $250,000.
Jeez.
No, I believe it. I believe it.
Still in the box?
No, there's no box. It's never gotten any packaging.
I know.
Because I was going to say, you were looking for the mint and seal box.
No, this is a prototype that they had to just redesign it. I remember because I had to wait for mine, and mine didn't have the missile fire.
Right, mine didn't either.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore where it's like, okay, I can't remember. You had to get the proofs of purchases off a certain amount of...
Yeah, the box tops or the barcodes off the cards.
Yeah. And then they would
proof
send
of purchase.
you...
Counter proof of purchase.
I can't remember how many you had to have.
I don't remember.
You had to have.
I'm sure there's some...
It took forever.
Star Wars archive. And of course, back then it was 6 to 8 weeks for delivery.
And boy, did you ever.
That was forever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I remember having to order Lego crater plates back in the day, and those took forever, ordering from Lego.
Mm.
Now you go to Bricklink, and you can get it, the next day or whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
But 6 to 8 weeks, that was
really
how
funny?
it was. So that's that's interesting, because it's just I got another action figure news we'll talk about in later in this week in News Is Squared.
I can't remember but when I was a kid, I can't remember why we were there. I know it was in Ohio, and I don't remember why we were in Ohio at that time, but we went to the Kenner factory as a kid.
It was in Cincinnati was the corporate headquarters.
I would have loved to have gone there, man. I would have loved it.
And they were at the time, I don't think they gave out a lot of tours. So they were thrilled that somebody wanted to see. Somebody wanted to see, because at the time it was just all the Star Wars stuff had started coming out.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I remember we bought a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff at practically
factory cost.
Factory cost. And I think they gave us a couple things for free too.
Neat.
And I was like, oh. So yeah.
There you go.
All I can say is I wish I still kept my vinyl caped Jawa. That's all I can say about that.
Can I ask you a question? Seriously. Yeah. The first time, when you went to a comic book show or a toy show or something like that, and you saw some of the figures, and you're sitting there going, oh, I got that one. And the person said to you, yeah, but is it in the box?
No, I took it out of the damn box because it's a toy. I play with it.
Right!
I'm not collecting boxes. Unless they're autographed, I'll keep it sealed. Autographed by the voice actor or whatever. But no.
Right, but I was
99.9999% of the stuff I have is opened.
Well, no, and then I'm laughing because it's oh, I got that. They're oh, you still got it? I'm yeah. They're is it in the box? No, I was 6.
No, yeah, exactly.
What do you want me? No, it's not in the box. Oh, do you have all the guns? No, of course I don't have all the guns.
Most time. Well, most stuff I got is complete.
Wow.
Jeez, man.
Oh man. Well, it's the same in any collection community, man. You got those people. Oh yeah, do you got the Beatles Butcher cover? Do you want the peeled, the unpeeled, the one that came out originally?
Well, yeah, there's being nitpicky or whatever, but most cases, most people tore the thing off, or most people, would do what was normal back then.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find the stuff that hasn't been, it's hard to find that vintage Star Wars that hasn't been opened. That's why they're going for six. They're going for multiple, if high hundreds, or if not in the thousands of dollars. At the Kane County show down by St. Charles, they got sealed carded vintage Star Wars, freaking Lobot for $700. I'm no.
Wow.
No one gives a shit about Lobot, but I mean, first issue of Princess Leia, going for $2,000 or whatever, because it's vintage sealed.
Well, it's funny because
it's untouched.
even if the bubble's yellowed, doesn't matter.
Well,
here
I'll give you an example. I had an original Luke Skywalker still.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have the lightsaber anymore.
Yeah, it was lost
and it was funny though, because it was and this was before we started doing the show. when we moved out of the house, I just didn't have enough time, and we had to get out more quickly. And I didn't really have the time, and I'm like, all right, fine. We'll just sell this as part of the estate sale. I swear to God, all the toys were the action figures were gone in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
I believe it.
I mean, all of them. Anything Star Wars related was gone. Like Star Wars, anything that was like Secret Wars, G.I. Joe.
What year was this?
Like 2016.
Okay. Well then, that's still quite valid, so.
Yeah. Oh no, all of it was gone. My favorite was someone, like the other things that I thought would never go that I was shocked by was like the ColecoVision went.
Retro gaming is really big now.
I think there was a Bally's console that was there that hadn't been used in decades. That went. The only thing that really didn't go was the 2E. And I kind of laughed because I had heard a story about where there are like there's a computer museum and they have like a note that's like, please don't send us and donate your 2E anymore. We have 1 million of them. Please stop. And this was like back in the 90s. They were like, please stop. So, yeah, no. Yeah, so, it was weird. I saw Ready Player One. God, I don't know why I like that movie so much.
Well, it's got to have a lot of things you want in it to like it so much. What's the best part of it? I mean, what turned you on?
Honestly, if I could find an RPG that was Ready Player One, I'd be so in.
Okay, so you want to bring it into the real realm. Got it.
I'd play an RPG of Ready Player One. And it's funny because the guy who plays IROC is hysterical. It's just the IROC character is just hysterical because he's got all the decent lines. So, like, he was like...
Oh, well, that's cool.
Which is like something like, voila, which is French for, and then I found it.
What's it mean?
You know.
Because I've been using that word voila for a myriad of different things. So what's
kind of like ta-da. That's kind of like ta-da, you know.
Voila is kind of like ta-da?
I guess.
Well, yeah, that's how I've always addressed it.
Well, no, I just thought it was funny when he said, which is French for, and then I found out where, you know, I'm like dying.
Okay.
That and, I guess Infinity War is on TNT, which didn't matter much after, I'm sure Mike will now laugh at me now that I finally went and got Disney Plus.
Hooray!
Okay.
I think I'm only keeping it for the month, though. I don't think I'm keeping it for longer.
You're going to wait till October and then start season 2?
Why would I, there's not, okay, so after looking at Disney Plus, I'm trying to figure out why after this month I need it until October.
Well, I mean, because I know
think
Disney Plus...
Falcon Winter Soldier starts anytime soon.
Right. None of the Marvel shows are coming... The way it's sounding, because they made some announcement today about how every Friday they're putting out some sort of... They're releasing some sort of big-time movie, and I'm like looking at the list, and I'm like, none of these are new. All these are just...
Making of Frozen 2 just came out.
Oh, boy.
Well, let's see. I mean, because my understanding of it is because Soraya's got it, that a lot of it is the older content being rerun again. You know, the old shows, the old movies. Yeah. A lot of the old stuff where you could probably get it anywhere else without having it concentrated.
Well, but it's not like it's funny. Like there's stuff on there. There's stuff that I expected I might see on there that I don't see. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing it, Mike, but like I thought maybe you'd find stuff like Full House. I thought maybe something like Family Matters or Home Improvement and stuff like that. And I don't see any of those things.
Wasn't that was those shows that aired on ABC?
Right.
Right. Those might have been pre-Disney when those things aired.
Maybe.
Well, no, ABC was owned by the Disney company.
Right.
Yeah, but not yeah. Oh, they were at the time? That's what I want.
Oh, yeah. They've been owned by Disney for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that fact before we went forward. But all right, if that's the case, then yeah, why wouldn't they have that content on the channel?
I don't know. Growing pains. I'm like looking for stuff where it's like, where are all those family sitcoms that I thought I'd find? It's really pretty much like Disney Channel stuff, a lot of animation.
Okay,
a lot of animation.
Yeah, it's all like Pixar and all of course Disney's full catalog, pretty much.
Like
Kim Possible, Doug. Let's see, just all of those different animated forms. I mean, they had DuckTales,
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, which I happen to like Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I just was surprised at the lack of
family
content for. It's very family entertainment. It's not like, okay, there's a ton of stuff here. If you're not, like if you're someone like me who doesn't have a family, I'm kind of like sitting here going, okay, I've seen the Marvel movies a million times. I've seen Star Wars a bunch of times. I don't know that I care about National Geographic all that much. All right, what else is here?
Right.
What else is here that's going to keep me here?
Entertained.
Or for that matter, why am I paying?
Yeah. So, so how many episodes of The Mandalorian have you watched?
2.
Okay. And?
Two. I started this afternoon, and I'm not going to lie, I almost blew off I was like, I'm sick.
I just got Disney
I'm not
Plus,
feeling well.
Cough, cough. I think I might have the Rona. I need to go get tested.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Hey, Alexa, put on Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, 2 episodes in, and all I have to say is, if Jon Favreau is not directing the next trilogy, they're a bunch of fucking morons.
What's that other guy? What's his name? I want to say Falcone, but Filoni, Dave Filoni.
I don't know. All I know is, after watching that, I'm literally sitting here going, really? Why is this guy? Why? This is what we're talking about.
Right.
This is what Star Wars looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously? I had to put up with all those stupid goddamn movies we could have done. Seriously?
And this is as far as you get?
No, because
it's like...
Well, we had Rian Johnson and, of course, J.J. Abrams with the course correction, so...
Right. Well, I mean, in fairness, we're never going to know how... what we're never going to know what...
So you're saying you liked the first 2 episodes?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
See, a lot of people didn't like episode 2, but I did, because I liked that struggle to get the shit back from the Jawas, man.
Oh, I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was funny.
So definitely meat on the bones in those 2 episodes. That's good.
Well, here's the thing. They're short. They're not long episodes.
They're like, 40 minutes?
Yeah, well, the first one's 40 minutes. The second one's like 33.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's not like... And that's the other thing. It's not like some of these things where it's like, okay, and now we're going to do 3 episodes of supposition. And you're like, and it's like, because we had to build out the content. You're like, oh, Jesus, God, make it stop. Make the pain go away.
Okay,
Just tell me my story. Just tell me the story.
Yeah, I'd say each one is pretty solid as far as like the story goes. I mean, there's one that's kind of a jailbreak episode that's later, but I mean, that one was just okay for me. But I think every episode's pretty good. In my opinion.
Mind if I interject a bit?
You might interject. Yes, you may.
Thank you. Here's my feeling on it, and that is, do you think they're creating the episodes so they could shuffle them around and they don't have to run out a particular sequence?
No, they're quite sequential.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically, if you're gonna watch it from the first to the last, you have to watch them as a set.
Well, I think you should watch them in order. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is that because I'm talking about, I don't know, must be a long gone thing they used to do where they would do stories, okay, and just make it to where, okay, you got 26 weeks, so let's make 26 episodes or 213 week episodes and stuff, and then you go ahead and you make it where, okay, the first time around they go in sequence, but then over time the sequences get, taken out. And are those stories individualistically valid as a single episode, or does it lose something?
Well, they're still good standalone episodes, but I mean, you should watch them in order to, because as as he travels around meeting people.
All right, so I'm trying to understand. So it's so with that, yeah, of course you're going to watch it in sequence, but then after you've watched it the first time in sequence, if it just randomly came on, does it have the strength to hold its own?
Yes.
There. Yes.
Yes.
I think here's what I liked about what I've liked in the first 2 episodes. It's none of this, I gotta create backstory. It's none of this. They're just there to tell the story. And it's simplistic, and they keep it simple, and yet there's a lot of layers to it, and they do a really good job with it, and they kept it really that way. And the other thing is, you can tell the level of what was spent in terms of the video quality, the visual effects, the audio quality, all those things. You can tell why these episodes had to be shorter. And in fairness, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually a great thing that these episodes are at max like 40 minutes apiece. In some ways, I think it's perfect. Versus sometimes when I swear I'm watching Westworld, and I'm like, Jesus, how fucking much longer is this goddamn episode? I gotta pee.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like looking at it going, oh, this is an oversized episode. This one's actually 90 minutes, and you're like, oh my god. Jeez. And you're like, really? This is a 90-minute episode? I didn't even check. I just figured it was an hour. Or like Game of Thrones. Like, I didn't watch a lot of Game of Thrones, but it's like Game of Thrones. It's like, that's a good 60 minutes worth of shit.
When I just hit the pause button.
Yeah. I mean,
I just hit pause, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but sometimes, you're in the thick of the episode, and you're kind of like, I know I gotta shake one off, but I don't want to miss nothing.
Or it's the part where it's like, okay, how much longer is this episode gonna be? I don't know. Sometimes you get that way where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm binging. You're like, especially if you're binging, and you're like, okay, okay, it's like, okay, at some point I want to go to bed. What time? How long is this gonna be?
Yeah.
And you're like,
so you gonna watch one more tonight before you go to bed?
I probably am. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It might be more than one.
Like I said, it might not be entirely possible for you to live up to the hype that has been built since it came out last year.
Can I tell you? So here's the irony to me. I didn't pay a lot of attention to that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay a lot of attention to a lot of the stuff where they were talking about at the time. So no, I'm enjoying it immensely as it is for what it is. The only thing I knew was a whole bunch of Baby Yoda stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what he does or anything about it other than, okay, Baby Yoda. Other than that, I didn't know anything else.
Yeah, my niece already went to the Walmart and she got the plushy Baby Yoda at the store already. Like, doesn't know who she can't pick out who Han Solo is, but she loves Baby Yoda.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I'm sure if Bill the Bear got on top of that like they did with the Stitch, I bet they sell them a pretty penny of them.
Yeah.
I think they did. Didn't they do a Baby Yoda?
Not Bill the Bear. I think
no, I'm not. No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
No, Hasbro's all over that. They're making an electronic one this fall, and yeah.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Oh boy, it speaks.
Forget it speaks. I will find the dark side of the force and kill you all.
Well, you heard about this new Now, Jeff, have you heard about this Deadpool head that's coming? There's a talking animatronic Deadpool head that's coming.
Oh my God.
I think there was something they had planned to unveil at San Diego, but it says like 175 phrases and it swears. And has like they can wink, like it has eye articulation to make for expressions.
Oh God.
Oh my God, that's a dope man's dream, man. Sit there, I'm gonna talk to Deadpool tonight, trip out on his phrases. Oh my goodness.
Just a disembodied Deadpool head who talks to you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
This is all the stuff we'd be getting like around San Diego, you know.
Oh,
now they're gonna live for Christmas.
All right, what do we think this roundabout thing goes for?
I can check for you real quick.
Oh, no, does it have a price?
Yeah, it has a retail.
Okay, hold on.
I'm saying 300. Where's your money
it's
at,
not
Jeff?
300.
Oh no! Oh God! I'm putting 4 figures on this thing.
No.
Oh, you're putting 4 figures out? Okay, so 4 figures from Jeff. I'm saying 300. What do you think, Jeff?
It's $100.
Is it really?
What?
Slated to come out in September.
Wow!
Oh, good. You
Wow.
know, I'm almost tempted to just buy one just to have it on
Whoa!
the show.
It says it's for ages 18 and up, so it does swear. It has over 600 sound effects and phrases.
Oh man, that's outstanding.
But as far as we know, it's not Ryan Reynolds, though. I'd pay an extra $100 to have Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I have heard some like impressions that are real close to Ryan Reynolds of Deadpool.
It would be kind of amusing, like if we had show budget to have it for like the show mascot and have it on.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Hey, it's the 3 of us in Deadpool.
Yeah, the Marvels let 600 sound effects and phrases, multiple sensors and motors for expressive movement. Download the free app and set Deadpool up to play pranks, insult your friends or loved ones, or wake you up every morning.
Uh-oh. That's not a good idea.
Does it have a sensor so it senses movement while you're in with somebody in the old racker room?
And it's featuring a design inspired by the Merc with a Mouth. The Marvel Legends Deadpool's head is a killer's collectible for any nerd's shelf. Note, Deadpool's head will not actually kill you. It'd get lonely.
That's fine.
I don't know, boys. I think I might have to invest in that. Just, I might have to invest in that.
Yeah, Marvel Legends has done they've done some high-end collectibles. They have like a 1-to-1 scale, like Iron Man helmet and Captain America shield within in an $100 range. So this is not unheard of, but the fact that it's for
that one's entertaining.
The fact that this one swears. So,
and not only that, I mean, who wouldn't want to dismember, Deadpool?
Deadpool wake you up in the morning.
Get up, motherfucker!
You think that's what he's gonna say?
I don't know.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I could see something like, "Good morning. We need to rub one out."
Okay, see, there you go.
Would you like my baby's hand? No, God.
It's just the head, Jeff, not the not the KFC spork hand.
Yeah, don't bring a date home, Jeff, because if it starts talking in the middle of your shed, man, that's all over.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, if he's sitting there going, "Hey, lady, break out the strap on," yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Oh, I did some.
Nothing else on Disney Plus.
I'll take your take on it because you obviously have bought it for the year. What do you
get from it?
What stuff are you still exploring at this point?
Not really. Just a couple of like Pixar things every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had like a Forky thing, like a shorts,
Uh-huh.
And I've seen some of the Pixar films I'd missed, like I never saw Monsters University in its entirety, so
Okay.
Finally saw that, but no, I've not been exploring much as far as Disney Plus's content. I mean, they've had some, every once in a while I'll watch a little bit of Marvel or something, but no.
It's funny. I never saw Coco from Pixar, so I'll probably
no, I never saw
up.
that either. I really should watch that.
I saw Coco. Believe me, definitely a festival for the eyes and the ears.
Yeah, it does visually stunning. Didn't it win the Oscar that year?
I believe it did.
I don't know.
I believe it did.
And then obviously, because our show will be airing by the time this happens, my understanding is nobody's sure how long this is going to be on, but they're going to have Hamilton on the 3rd on Disney Plus.
Yes, I did see that being advertised today on television.
Which is, by the way, the reason why I finally bit the bullet, really, in reality.
There you go. Good, bravo.
Because apparently it starts at 2 a.m. on Friday morning. The question is, when does it end? And I've heard rumblings that it's 24 hours, and then it's gone.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe it's because it's 4th of July weekend. I think maybe it'd be like just the whole weekend. You'd think.
That's what I would think too. Yeah.
But they're not saying, so it's like a.
But they're not saying.
The weekend, usually around Independence Day, holiday weekend, usually HBO would run the John Adams miniseries with Paul Giamatti. That is a good series.
There we go.
But yeah, Mike, if you've never seen,
Hamilton?
I know you're not a musical guy, but
couple,
I'm a musical guy.
I'll see Hamilton. It's on Disney Plus.
It's worth it.
You'll enjoy it. Soraya told me a world about it. She's seen it twice.
Okay.
I've seen it. Well, like I said, obviously I've seen it. I saw it with the Chicago cast. This is the original. So just so people are aware, this isn't like a theatrical one. This is they shot a movie with and used one of the original Broadway performances.
That's beautiful.
It's the original Broadway cast, which also means it includes like Lin-Manuel, what's his name?
I got to take care of something. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So talk amongst yourselves. BRB.
Yeah. So
as far as the recent news of New York theater being closed till next year, what's your take on that?
I was surprised to hear it. I was kind of surprised to hear it. I'm curious if they won't try to find a way to do something more online.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm sure, due to the fact that, everybody's doing things virtually. Do you think there's money to be made presenting a play in its entirety? Through virtual means? Do you think there's an audience for that? Do you think people would go for something like that?
Maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, obviously, so here's part of the answer to that question. Look at how much promotion they're doing for Hamilton this weekend.
Right.
And part of it is that they're using this as a major content push to get people to register for Disney Plus, whether it be for just a month or for longer or who knows. But
basically, it's bait. It's bait for people to get to Disney Plus.
Right. So, it wasn't. That wasn't the original plan. The original plan was they were going to air it. They were going to actually do a theatrical release in 2021. And they decided instead that, because honestly, they're lacking. I mean, seriously, Disney. This is the one thing that I kind of laugh about with Disney Plus, Ivan, is
what's that?
Is that I don't know what they were thinking about their content production.
Well, okay, because I guess they kind of sat on their laurels, Jeff.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. They sat on their laurels. They say, we got a shit ton of content, a shit ton of sub-content. If we run this stuff all nauseum we'll still have enough stuff to keep it interesting. But see, they weren't looking at the bigger picture of, what was good then doesn't necessarily translate into what happens now. See?
Well, here's the thing. At some point, some of what drives people is also new content. And I think that's where, to
Disney,
me, that's where they fell down, because it was you're gonna have the Mandalorian, okay, fine.
Right.
There should have been more stuff in the can than just that, and it seems like they didn't have any of it.
So basically, you think they put all their eggs in one basket with the Mandalorian, and were short-sighted to think that the Mandalorian was going to hold things over as new content. I mean,
what did till the end of the year?
Right. So there's my point of that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm just surprised at some of the other things. Like, I did look and see that there were some other original programming.
They did have a lot of original programming planned, but then the Rona hit, so.
Right, but even before that, I mean, like, there's this Jeff Goldblum thing that I may look at. We'll see if it's any good. And I may take a look at the High School Musical series that they created, but I'm really kind of surprised at, like, that there aren't a lot of, like, those, kid sitcoms that were created for this particular.
Well, yeah. Where's the Life of Zack and Cody? Where's what's
right? Where's your new Hannah Montanas? Where's your new stuff like that?
Your next version of the Mickey Mouse Club. She's So Raven.
Right.
The Cheetah Girls.
Right. Exactly. It's like that stuff just seems to be
lost in the ether.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple.
It might be
things
stuff they rotate in and out, like Netflix, maybe.
Maybe, but Netflix still has a lot of new content that they put out there on a regular basis. That they seem to have out there far more regularly than Disney does, in terms of that. And I think that's where I kind of look at it, and I'm like, the other thing is, like I said, if you got kids, Disney Plus is great. If you like
TV all day, there you go.
Right, but if you're two people who don't have kids, Marvel
and Star Wars, yeah.
Right, Marvel and Star Wars, but after that,
and I heard that the last season of the Clone Wars is really good.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
The only other thing I keep thinking is, look, they're going to have all those new Avatar movies coming out soon. Okay. Mm-hmm. So obviously that'll build out some things. But like, for example, I don't get it. You bought that entire Fox library. Where are all of those movies?
Right.
Like, where are those movies? Like, Die Hard's in that list.
Right. There's a lot of good.
Are any of the X-Men movies in here?
No, that's what's coming out. That's the thing they announced today. Right. That, like, every Friday they're practically putting out like some sort of, they're releasing a movie, and it's like a whole lot. Most of them, ironically, are all the X-Men movies from Fox.
Right.
But again, like, people are excited about it, and I'm kind of like, okay.
I'm excited to see more of the Marvel Legends based on the Fox X-Men films. You finally get to see Serene McKellen, Magneto, and all that, and Hugh Jackman Wolverine from the movies. Anyway,
Days of Futures Past.
Yep, them too.
Yeah, that's one of the ones. Here, hold on, I'll pull it up for you guys because I just saw it before we went on.
Before we started recording, yeah.
Before we started recording, I just gotta find it. It's basically they're doing some sort of Friday night thing. Where is it? Here. No, that's not it. Damn it. I was so easy to find earlier. It was everywhere. It was like really simple.
But no, it's not.
I hate when that happens, when you're like, oh, I just totally saw it.
Yeah,
and
no,
like, and then you're like, where did it go?
Like, damn it. Why did it disappear now? Oh, shit.
Hold on a second.
No, I'm cool.
I just gotta find it. Well, here. Okay. So it's...
Oh, awesome. Schoolhouse Rock is streaming on Disney Plus now. I can watch it.
Yeah, oh yeah, you didn't see that? Yeah,
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you what was cool. I found out on my smart TV that's the 55-incher that I can get Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, you can download the app. Yeah, I watch it on the big TV. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to watch The Mandalorian on big TV.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I haven't got a chance to do that. That's why I'll probably watch it later. I'll probably watch it later on the 55-inch when my mom's asleep and be like, okay. Hamilton on the 55 should be pretty good too.
That'd be good.
Let's see. Okay, so obviously the third is Hamilton, and then also on the third is Mighty Ducks. The 10th is X-Men Days of Future Past.
Wow.
The 10th is also Solo Star Wars Story. It's not on there already? Friday the 17th is X-Men Apocalypse. That could be skipped.
I hear there's good parts in it, but I'm glad I passed on it in the theater.
Yeah, well,
I remember that movie got some shit when the movie poster showed Apocalypse with Mystique in a chokehold, and this was in the peak of the Me Too movement, so it was not good optics for Fox.
No.
The 24th is Pirates, Dead Man Tells No Tales, so that's the original one. Incredibles 2 on the 31st. The original X-Men on the 7th.
Hey.
The Peanuts movie on the 7th. Ant-Man and Wasp on the 14th. Greatest Showman on the 14th of August.
Nice.
Beauty and the Beast on the 21st.
Is that the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four from 2005 is on the 28th. Alice Through the Looking Glass is on the 28th. It goes on and on. The Wolverine, you get the idea.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I liked the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Where he goes to Japan. That was okay for me. I liked that one.
That's better than I thought. That's better than a lot of people give
Yeah,
credit.
I never saw the X-Men Origins one, though.
Yeah, that's... well, I liked it better than a lot of people liked it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they had the weird-looking Deadpool.
Yeah, they kind of,
They made fun of it later, yeah. Did you guys see the thing from... so NBC did some sort of, world get-together, we need to help the world, we are the world kind of thing. And then they had a reunion of, the X-Men, and then Ryan Reynolds shows up unannounced.
Well, supposedly unannounced.
Right.
Somebody invited him.
Right, they all leave, and then it's, just him and Hugh Jackman.
Well, all right.
So, yeah, it was pretty funny. Gentlemen, what else? Anything interesting? What have you guys been doing this week?
Just watched the latest episode of Stargirl.
Yes.
And suppose we can. No, that was good. Finally, some action. Finally, some fighting. Man,
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Superhero, bam, pow, punch. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! It was good.
Oh, that's great. So it continues to roll in the good lane.
Well, it's finally. Well, we've had a lot of setup and a lot of character, development and creation. Now we finally had a team together, and they did some heroic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Heroics.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Yeah, it was nice to see that. I think it's interesting because Pat takes away all the other toys, but misses the pig pen with Thunderbolt, which means that at some point maybe we will get Thunderbolt this year, which could be interesting. Johnny Thunder, which would be interesting. That is a seriously dangerous Thunderbolt is one of the most anyway.
It's great. It's cool to see how deep seated the bad guys are here in this little town.
Yeah,
so
it's interesting to see how that's
Injustice
all
Society. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still digging it. Yeah, it's a great show.
Good.
No, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's nice that they basically let Jeff Johns kind of do his thing, and that was the interesting part was Johns was suddenly not the head of DC Comics anymore. He wasn't the head of the movie stuff anymore, but they kind of let him just do his projects, and what do you know? That's allowed for
it's working
him to
out.
produce.
I'm liking it.
Mhm.
That's good. That's good.
And episode actually just today, episode 3 of A Toy Store Near You dropped on YouTube. So I watched that real quick tonight before we went on, and it deals with a show. It deals with this episode deals with a toy store out in England. So
okay.
Where they had Action Man and not G.I. Joe.
Okay.
But that was interesting. I like these shows, so I'm digging it.
No, but that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just doing my groovy thing on Twitch. I did the doo-wop show on Friday, vocal groups. Went to some really classic era type vocal groups, the Ink Spots, the Mills Brothers, and featured a lot of East and West Coast doo-wop, kind of deep in the box type stuff. It was a real interesting show. It was a good time. And then Saturday and Sunday I was with my brother John, from Electric Jungle, and it was the first time returning to an actual brick and mortar store. Needless to say, it was quite the adventure, it's the first time I've been out other than my mother's house and then just going out to get essentials. So now I'm moving into the world, cautiously, but yes. So, so I was in there, doing some things, getting some things ready, stacking and, doing regular, record work. It was nice. It's nice to, move around and work and just, have an entirely different thing going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, being at home has all of its luxuries and I appreciate each and every one of them. But, being in a different spot, just, doing something that I love in a different environment and such, it was very freeing, very liberating for me. So, that.
Did you wear a mask the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so it was that whole thing where, I was in there and just doing the groovy thing, and it was nice, revisiting, old music and stuff like that. John gave me this beautiful Donnie Elbert album. It was called Have I Sinned, and it's just this real 5-minute short story on Donnie Elbert. Now, Donnie Elbert is one of my all-time favorite falsetto singing singers. So, and here's a cat that in 1958, he was cutting all of these diehard rhythm and blues records, and on some of those records, you can reference all these titles on YouTube. Okay, the artist is Donnie Elbert, DonnieElbert. Okay, and especially visit his late 50s era, around his first records in 58. Well, I talked to John about this years ago, and the other day I have in front of me this beautiful album of all the A and B sides of his first 6 45s. What an album. It's outstanding. It's called Have I Sinned? And it's Donnie Elbert. And anything you pick up on Donnie Elbert is worth a listen, record collector friends. Let me tell you.
Did any of his stuff chart?
He had one that charted in 1970, and that was called Get Myself Together. When it's flipped over on the B-side, it's called Can't Help Losing You. And that is on Rare Bird 45 produced by Swamp Dogg, which Swamp Dogg was a big production company in Louisiana, if my memory holds true, and got to produce them and came out with this syrupy, soulful piece of R&B on this record label. I mean, the only release on this record label, but just so good. So yeah, so if you're out there and you're collecting and you catch up with old Donnie Albert, please pick it up, drop the needle on the turntable, and sit back and be amazed at this man's vocal range and musical prowess, because on a lot of the tracks he recorded overdubbing the instruments himself. So it's just his vocals against his own instrumentation, and probably, as far as I know, one of the earliest protagonists of this particular recording style, next to Les Paul and Mary Ford, and and numbers of others, which that could be an entirely different subject next time. But yes, and
so you were getting the Electric Jungle ready for their grand reopening?
Yeah, we are. We're getting things, put together and working out different strategies because Corona has presented us with a different set of sensibilities now that Corona came, and people's buying habits are changing, and just a number of other things that kind of parlay into that whole thing. So for all of it, yeah, I mean, as everybody is trying to get in a little at a time. Now, I had Allison. She asked me, she goes, "Are you thinking of going back out and DJing anytime soon, Ivan?" And yeah, so I don't see myself going out there into the public anytime soon, but I'm definitely going to stay on the Twitch television circuit, and I'm also working other things out right now as well with WRTR, Remember Then Radio. Okay, good evening, Steve, if you're out there. Yeah, so still trying to work out those details because, yeah, eventually down the line, I just want to be able to go ahead and just broadcast without fear of all kinds of different things. Just for some information, and you people out there are going on broadcasting saying, "I do not own the rights to this music," well, I'm giving you a word of caution. Just because you say you don't own the rights to the music does not protect you. I know that there's a falsehood going out there on the internet saying that if you put this presentation before you go out there and you DJ or you do your live broadcast, no, the rules still apply. If it belongs to somebody else, they are going to take you down. So don't rely on that phrase used before your broadcast, because it doesn't hold water. So I didn't mean to punch a hole and blow the balloon on you, but that's just how that is, in the reality of it. Me, I mean, I get it. You guys out there, you paid for your music. You got after everything you needed to have, and you're producing it, and, it's your creation, but you're creating with other people's elements. Okay? You have to keep that into consideration. Although a lot of those copyrights and royalty paperwork and everything belong to a lot of holders now, and basically the reason why everything gets taken down is because those people still own those things and they're still looking to get paid. But okay, and you're thinking, well, who are they paying? I mean, these people have been dead maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. Okay, so who are they paying? Okay, and the fact of the matter is, in the business world, the person that holds the paper is where the check gets written to. So that's just how that works.
Well, but some of them also are the family estates too, though.
Exactly. This is my point. There's still attachments to the music.
But I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head who, as an example of somebody who, where, the music is still... I think Elvis, right? Isn't Elvis still really in the hands of...
No, Priscilla owns Elvis's stuff now.
Right.
He was the colonel, but then when he died, it all got
transferred
back to
her. Her and the daughter own pretty much control
Priscilla and Lisa Marie,
right?
yeah. She runs the estate, Priscilla.
Right, and that's...
I still remember what...
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I still remember when Michael Jackson pissed off Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
where Paul McCartney was talking about how he's going to get the money together to buy up the Beatles catalog finally and get it all. The next thing you know, Michael Jackson swoops in and buys the whole thing.
Yeah, that caused some little tension between the two of them, but
yeah, they never did another song after that. I don't think.
No, that was it. Once that "The Girl Is Mine," I think that was the big one, and "Say Say Say." I think those were the charted items.
I keep forgetting about "Say Say Say." I forgot they did that one.
And so it comes down to. Yeah, I mean, again, the person that holds the paper is the one the check gets written to, is how this business is run. And, there's still people attached to this music. Maybe not everybody, but there are people that are still attached to it. And, yes, so, I mean, somebody out there is getting the money. I mean, not the entertainers themselves after they, expired, but...
Although it's funny, because the Jackson kids are getting pretty much, what? I mean, it's Michael's music and the Beatles' music, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know which family member runs the Jackson estate now.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, with that whole situation when, Paul McCartney, which, let's face it, okay, Michael Jackson, with the whole Beatle catalog, with Buddy Holly's catalog, because he did have Buddy Holly's catalog as well.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people think that, that Michael wasn't hip to that whole, well, hey, the copyright is worth more than the actual records themselves. So, you go ahead and you catalog, you buy out a cat's catalog, you get all the residuals from that catalog. And, Buddy Holly is still a viable artist that still gets sold and is still in the oldies rotation. So he's still making money off that, off of that catalog. See, and that's how that works too. So, all things considered, you have a situation where it's like, well, all right, I bought the record, I paid for the record. Why are they taking me down off of Facebook? Well, this is how to explain it to you. This is what this is all about. So that way you don't go with this falsehood thinking because you put the disclaimer up and then you're still getting taken down. That's why you're still getting taken down. Now, there's other ways you can go about it. And there are, I know there's licensing
people on
houses.
YouTube that run at different speeds so the algorithm doesn't catch it.
Like
1/10 speed higher or faster or slower. I've seen that happen with movie clips too, where they will alter the music of a scene so that it doesn't catch the algorithm.
Yes, that's one of the things they do. Then of course gamers, okay, who have sites like Twitch, because Twitch is a gamer's site.
Yeah, a lot of live gaming, yeah.
So there's a lot of live gaming happening, and contrary to what you might have heard about it, no, Twitch is not booting DJs off of the stream. They're not doing that.
Just Donald Trump.
But so here it is. You got guys like me who, I was approached by Twitch, and I'm considering being one of their affiliates. That jury is out on that yet. But the thing is, it comes down to the fact that, okay, you guys out there are going on Twitch and you're trying to make money off of Twitch. You need to be nice and talk to the people on Twitch and make sure that you get your priorities straight before you venture into that.
That's right. Be nice when you talk to the Twitch peoples.
Talk to the Twitch people. Be
That's
nice.
Right. Don't be a schmutz.
Don't be a schmutz.
They'll slap you out of there.
Okay, I got two of the
Don't
best
make me
lawyers
whoop
ever.
your
Look at
ass.
these guys. Look at these guys. Okay, I these guys got my back, man. Okay, so there you go. But
don't be a putz.
Don't be a putz. And listen to more of the Squares of the Round Table. So we have anything else we want to add to this?
Taste the soup.
Yeah. Taste the soup?
Yeah.
Is it matzo ball soup? Is it matzo ball soup?
I think we got some news this week, don't we?
Yeah, we have a little bit of stuff to talk about. Actually, we didn't get the mic, by the way.
No, we didn't. So back to you, Mike.
Back to me.
Didn't you have like stuff you bought this week?
Yeah.
I did.
Toys?
I did.
Yeah? Did you buy?
No, I didn't. I did not. Oh, I did just get I finally just got the Legends class little Thundercracker. It's a little more unlicensed third-party product from other companies overseas. Well, they're not. Well, a bootleg is something.
No, I just busted your balls. Yeah, I know what a bootleg is. I just mess around.
It's so funny. He says the third-party Thundercracker, and my first reaction is drugs.
No.
The syringe came in a velvet box.
I did finish. I built a drawer for my MP Autobot shelf, so that works. It works. I slide the drawer in and out. It works. I built the drawer. It works.
A little WD-40 is fucking works.
That's right. Use WD-40 or duct tape. You want it to move? No, use the duct tape. You want it to move? Yes, use the WD-40.
Windex cures everything.
That's Greek, not.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
yesterday,
and I hung out with friends yesterday. Been out to my friend's house out by Garden Prairie, out in edge of the earth, out past Woodstock and all out in the sticks. So we did some shooting yesterday. I had a really good time. I should have wore a hat though. I got a little sunburned, so it was fun though. I had a great time.
Ouch.
Yeah. But other than that, no, I had a nice week. It was, things are starting to slow down at the hardware store.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
You would hope.
Yeah, I would hope. They've been, not everyone wants to go on vacation now, so people are staying away from the hardware store. They're done with their projects. They've been stuck at home for 3 months. Now they're getting outside and doing stuff, and with the family, I guess, before they, I drove past going home Saturday night from work. I drove past 2 huge yard parties in my neighborhood. I don't know if it was like a graduation party or like a wedding party or something. And you drive past, it's like, it's just like let's a very large gathering, and I didn't see anyone wearing a mask.
Yeah. I mean, like that on Wrigleyville where all the kids were supposedly like no mask.
Yeah, there's like assholes and elbows in the streets again.
Like, Jesus.
It's St. Patrick's Day again.
Wait till. Oh well. Okay. Speaking of the holiday, recent news of all the closing downs of fireworks for the 4th of July.
That's why I had to go upstairs. That's why I had to leave here recently. Our neighbor next block over, he was shooting off fireworks again. That's asshole.
See, that's the music part. Is everybody.
Asshole is when you get your fucking neighbor downstairs blowing off fireworks on the back of the stairwell, only inches from the back kitchen window. I was like I was being.
You know what? Can I tell you something?
Yes,
it's going to sound bad.
You want love.
That's when you pour a bucket of water down on them.
This is going to sound really bad. This could sound really, really bad.
What's that, Jeff?
Do you know how many great stories we're going to get from News of the Squared from all the people trying to shoot off fireworks?
We'll see what happened next week. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're going to have so many bad stories. It's coming too. A whole bunch of people trying to shoot off fireworks and don't know how to do what they're doing.
Going with the firecracker, fingers and toes.
I'm telling you, we're gonna have a shitload of stories about people doing dumbass fireworks.
That should be the Knott's name, the Square's name next week. Fingers and toes.
We'll see.
Swear, guy.
See what happens.
We'll see how many we get. It'll take a couple weeks to trickle down, but we get all the 4th of July stories. But with no firework displays, people gonna be dumb. They're gonna be some dumbass people.
Our local. There will be social distancing guidelines, but we are having, at least our city is having fireworks this weekend.
Well, that's good. That's good. Enjoy them.
But I know, other communities, other cities around by me, they have theirs canceled, but ours is still on. So
that means, you know what that means? Yours is going to be like
crowded as fuck.
Mushroom cloud.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get crowded.
I can see some of mine from my front porch, but the trees have gotten too tall now. I can't watch very much of the aerial show anymore.
Yeah, you could be like Sarah. You could be like Sarah Palin. I could see the fireworks from my house.
That's right, yeah. I see Russia.
Did you hear the bang just now?
No.
They're starting. They're starting already.
Yeah, I'm under the impression in the city it's been really kind of bad.
Because New York has had some real trouble.
New York's had some real trouble, yeah.
Yeah, with all that stuff.
Well, then the mayor should get on that shit, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like Lori Lightfoot don't play, man. She's
she don't play.
You know.
Hey, there's a rumor that we might have an alligator in Lake Glenview in Glenview.
All right.
Okay.
We don't know if it's real yet or not.
Unconfirmed reports. Okay.
There's an unconfirmed report. There's an alligator in the lake.
Could be the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, the funny part was it's like there are snapping turtles. How the fuck did snapping turtles get in the middle of a man-made lake? In the middle, like
person who put a bunch of eggs there and hope they.
Seriously, no, I'm not. I mean, it's like because it's like park, shopping centers, urban, suburban sprawl. It's not like it's connected to any waterways or anything. How the hell would they get there?
Ninja Turtles could be the sewers.
Yeah, seriously, maybe.
Okay, maybe. Came there in their party bus.
What do we have? Oh, I guess the big news is Margot Robbie's going to be the new star for they're going to relaunch Pirates of the Caribbean.
So she's going to be Captain Jack?
I don't know if she's going to be Captain Jack. I think they're just going to, do new stories.
Okay, just new, like something else in that saga.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be, okay, here's something else, Pirates of the Caribbean with an entirely new.
Caribbean-like, yeah.
Yeah. I you know what? I'm not against it if they're going to basically do an entirely new set of stories with an entirely different set of people.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not doing revisions of the old stories, yeah, I'm all in.
Right. And it'll be interesting because I'm not positive that at some point they don't work some of those people into some of these
or even do a crossover.
Right, exactly. Like we don't find Johnny Depp in there at one point or another or something like that. But
yeah, we might. I don't think we've seen the last of Jack Sparrow.
You think?
I think he might come back as maybe in a cameo or something.
Yeah.
They're gonna run into each other somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Guaranteed.
Trying to think if there's anything. I was trying to remember off the top of my head. The only other thing I can think of is, so now maybe it's not going to be Michael Keaton coming back. And now it's going to be maybe Christian
the articles, all these headlines, it was like, no, they were in talks.
Yeah. And now maybe it's Christian Bale. And maybe it's not. Who knows? Yeah, jeez.
It'll be a surprise once they put the movie together.
Until we get screenshots of the actors on the set, I'm not going to be...
With their names in the pictures, I ain't going to trust nobody. But you can trust us, though, to entertain you here at the Squares of the Round Table. And Mike, how did they get here?
You get to use the internet.
Of course.
Are we done? We done?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I was going to say, the only thing
also that they've postponed Mulan and Tenet again.
Right, I was going to go there. That was exactly what my next thing was.
Oh, okay. Well, then forget what I just said. And get too much.
Edit point. They planned to put these out in late July, but I guess they've postponed it again to August. So the Mulan movie that I was going to see anyway. So
right. And I don't think I'm going to run to go see that Tenet movie either.
No, you guys mentioned, you guys been kind of poo-pooing that whole existence since they started talking about it, so.
It's not that, it's just, it really comes down to what, and this is me being serious about this, it really comes down to what really is exciting me right now. What is going to make me sit there and go, yeah, I'm willing to take a risk to go to the movies right now with everything going on right now. And honestly, right now there's only one movie title that I would put there, and that's not coming out till October. And I'm not positive that that's not going to get pushed back again either.
Yeah. Right. Well, between Black Widow and Wonder Woman 84, that's it. That's the only two I'm looking forward to.
Right, and we know that Black Widow's next year.
Well, and also they'd filmed that Coming to America 2 late last year, so they got that done before the Rona hit. So I'd go see the Coming to America too.
Well, I'm wondering, didn't we just get when is that Bill and Ted thing coming? I'm not going.
I heard that was the sometime this summer, so the summer could be August.
I thought I saw a commercial on them, and they were talking.
Well, there was a trailer, yeah.
There was a trailer.
There's a trailer.
But here's the thing with some of these, and this is the other thing, with like New York and LA spiking back up again. If they're going to close out theaters again, this is going to get delayed because you're not launching without the two biggest markets in the country. You're just not.
You're right.
You're not putting movies out that way. I know that there's been a few things that have gotten released where it's the $20 rental.
Right.
I haven't yet to bite the bullet on a $20 rental. I am tempted to bite the bullet to watch that, whatever that thing is that Jon Stewart wrote with, what's his name? Steve Carell and, I can't remember her name. That looks kind of funny. It's a kind of a comedy kind of thing. That looks interesting, but I don't know. I'm not willing to bite the bullet for $20. I'm like, fuck.
It'd have to be like a 48-hour rental and something I'd be really interested in.
Well, it is a 48-hour rental, but even so, I'm like, if I wait 3 months, this is going to be 6.
Yeah, so it's just the appetite of wanting a bit of it now or getting the whole pie later.
Right. Well, it's the part where it's like, okay, if I can wait 3 months,
that's what I mean.
It'll be 6. If I, do I need to? Honestly, Wonder Woman would be on that list of, do I need it now? Yes, I need it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then go with your guts, man.
No, absolutely. Well, no, I'm just saying it's that it's not, like I said, Ivan. It's not so much about poo-pooing. Okay, we don't want to. We don't want to go, or we don't want this, or we don't want that. It's more along the lines of, like I said, the only thing is to me is, I think some people are just kind of like, okay, this isn't enough for me to go, okay, I got to go see a movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are already dismissing the situation for this year. I mean, right now, Major League Baseball is talking about an abbreviated season. And, and there's some players that are already opting out of the situation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, that the recouping time is going to take till about the end of the year. Yeah. And a lot of like disc jockeys and entertainers.
Yeah, and the restaurants like too. That. I mean, that money's gone. It's not going to get made up.
No, it's not.
It's gone. It's.
I mean, that's revenue loss, and the fact that people are trying to get back into the situation. Yeah, okay. I mean, good on them. I mean, like Coles is, which is on 3226 Milwaukee. They got the social distancing going on, and everything is only open until 11 p.m. as far as that business is concerned with Cafe Mustache, which, they're still selling out the door. And, they just came up with, liquor pops.
Mm.
Yeah, 4 different flavors. 6, 1 for 6.
You get some static here, someone.
Is that me?
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know. Maybe it's, who knows?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Okay.
Was me. Pull my finger.
Anyway, but so the point of the matter being is, getting back to your point, Jeff, going back out there into the public, even if it is so worthwhile that that's a really big chance you're taking right now, especially with everybody saying, oh, well, this is the second wave. No, the first wave never left.
Yeah. Wow.
But, so that's the reality of it. And the thing is too, but I have to say at this point in time, we've had the fewest deaths and the cases are going down. True, but again, you have to keep in mind that, just because people are opening economically they're not saying it's safe.
Nope.
They're not saying it's safe.
Well, here's an example. I can't speak for other Major League Baseball teams, but I have now heard talk that they're talking about, for the 60 games on the home games, letting 8,000 fans, which is about 20%, into these baseball parks. And I'm kind of like sitting here going,
why?
So are they going to wipe down every seat once they're done?
I don't.
How
they
wrong
person.
I don't know.
Bathroom.
Here, ready? I'll give you better. The Chicago Dogs, which is a minor league baseball team around here, they're going to let in about 1,200 people for their games. I don't know why they're letting anybody in.
Again, this is the whole let's rush to the situation, not because it's safe. It's about trying to get the economy going. But that's not the way to do it, because the fact that, all right, when you're only running at 20% capacity anywhere, first off, you have to have a business mind. Me being a shop owner, I turned the key. Do you know I just spent money on my lights, on my air conditioning, on my facilities, all this other stuff going on, and I haven't made $1 yet. That's for me opening the door.
Yep.
Okay? So there's the point that a lot of people don't understand, that when you're looking at it from this prospect, people say, oh, he's got a store, he must be making lots of money. No, he's not. Okay? People, being cognizant to the situation. I can't say how the big box stores do it. That's that sensibility. I'm only giving you a viewpoint from the mom and pop store owner situation, because my mother and father had businesses for many years. So I got I hit the ground running type education as to how this all came together. So it comes down to this. Okay. Yeah. I opened the door. Okay, and my place holds, let's just, ballpark. My place holds 300 people. Okay, you guys' math is much better than mine. What's 20% of 300 people?
60.
Okay, 60. Now, and of those 60, let's go with a certain amount of square feet. I'm only able to hold down 50.
You didn't say there'd be math.
No.
But I'm saying,
you didn't tell me there would be a story problem.
I'm trying to you guys. You guys are brains. You guys are so smart. Anyway, all I know is
no, I just know percentages because when I sell things.
Well, yeah, but then you're smart.
How much am I making?
You're smart. So anyway, my point I'm making is, of the 60 people, I could probably house 50 people comfortably spaced. Okay, so what did I do to my bottom line? Except not even break even.
Right. Anything's better than nothing.
Yes, a lot of people like to think that, but at the same time, when you have food and liquor and expenses, utilities and everything to run, that's not an excuse you can give to the bill guys, or the food guys or the drink guys. See my point? So yeah, as much as everybody wants to rush to limited numbers and things like that, the people that have these businesses are not making the money you think they're making. Okay? So it's just
they must have a reason why they're doing it. They must be doing something or doing enough to be making a break even or something. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, they wouldn't be doing it at a loss.
Okay, not at a loss necessarily, but then that also depends on the savvy of the business owner to, in the times being good, he put the surplus of finances away for the proverbial rainy day. And you do have cases of people like that who do this, who can do that, but not everybody is savvy like that. See, that's the point. It depends on the individual.
Well, as more and more of these smaller businesses open up, then we'll see, hopefully, that in a number of cases. Well, the thing is that we're testing more and more and more. So the number of cases of number of people testing positive are going up because we're testing.
Okay,
that's part of it.
Speaking of testing, letsgetchecked.com. Check out the site.
Yeah, I think CVS started testing.
Great, and so did Walgreens.
Okay.
So if you want to be in a 10-week program, letsgetchecked.com. I'm in week number 4. I'm COVID-free. Learn to do it yourself. That way, if you want to test when you're at home, you get the test sent home to your house in the privacy, and they give you step-by-step instructions. Anybody can do this. And
I'm not shoving that thing all the way down my nose that way.
Well, no. No, you're not supposed to touch your gray matter, Jeff.
I'm supposed to use the big
No, there's
Q-tip.
that thing. They supposedly stick it all the way back there. It's like...
Are you afraid of tickling your brain?
No, I'm afraid of, like, damaging something back there.
No.
I don't want to shove that thing all the way back there. Holy shit. I heard it's painful as fuck.
No. You don't say, you don't just take and go, wah! No, you don't do the man,
What, you need lube?
No, you don't do the man spearing into your brain matter, no. It's a Q-tip.
I'm glad Mike caught that.
No, I know what you were saying. So, anyway, what I'm saying is...
You're working it gently, Ivan? Do you, saw it in? Or you kind of,
Just to tip it first.
Yeah, just to
tip it first. Yeah, okay, guys. Anyway, look. So it's not as bad as it sounds, but trust me, if you want that kind of peace of mind, check it out. Like it says, I'm doing a 10-week survey, and all of my information is free to be used for the products to be used for testing. So, yay, my little part to do. Try to do the right thing. You do your right thing. Wear your mask. Keep your hands clean. If you can get tested, do get tested. And we might get through this sooner than later. Okay, folks? Yeah. There, public service.
When you go to cross the street, look both ways.
That's right.
Look both ways.
And don't eat yellow snow.
Hey, before we... one quick thing. Ivan, did you see... I assume you didn't. The quick trailer that was out for the Aretha Franklin movie with Jennifer Hudson?
Yes, I did.
I haven't seen it yet. Did that drop today?
Yeah, or yesterday.
All right,
it's really fast. It's just basically her singing Respect.
It's a blip.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a teaser? Okay.
Yeah, it's her just basically singing Respect. It's pretty freaking good.
Is it coming to theaters or streaming or what?
I think it's going to theaters, but I don't think it's this year. I think it might be
next year.
Or if it is, it might be later this year. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Well, here's my take on the whole Jennifer Hudson thing. They couldn't have picked a better singer for it, and they couldn't have taken a better personality for it. I mean, I still hold her to her character
in Cats.
Not in Cats. See, you're trying to mess with me. See, look, I ain't supposed to
Hey,
have,
we're still trying to find Jason Derulo's Wang.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm just saying, yeah.
Just that bad photo, but that bad digital Photoshop order with the cat butthole, the butthole cut.
The butthole cut, yep.
That's right up there with the bat nipples, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right up there with bat nipples.
Yeah, sure.
Bat nipples and cat holes. There you go. There's a trashy band if I ever heard one.
There's a podcast name if I ever heard one.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
I finally got my ticket redeemed. I guess the Cybertronic Spree is coming to Chicago in March of next year. So, because it was supposed going to be mid-May. No. But they obviously had to cancel because of the Rona, so today they dropped their new schedule, so...
I don't trust anything Transformers coming to Chicago. I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
I've seen how that works.
This is just music, man. It's all good.
I've seen how that works.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, that was a fun day when I went down when they were filming Dark of the Moon in Chicago. That was a fun day. I know it was a pain in the ass for a lot of people who worked in the loop, but...
they were good movies.
It was fun.
It's double-edged because you're like, oh, finally I get to see Chicago. Oh, finally I get to see Chicago.
And there's rubble all down State Street or down Wacker Drive or whatever.
And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Can you go blow up New York again?
Burning
Much
cars
better. Come to think of it, you go blow up L.A. and New York again. You go right ahead. Goodbye.
I didn't know we were going to the Escape to New York stat.
Yeah. Okay, now I think we're at the Ivan point that he asked earlier.
Yeah, man.
All right, now here we go one more time with feeling. Yes, check us out here at Squares of the Round Table. And Mike, where can they find us?
Yes, check us out. And Mike, tell us where to check us out. We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell. That way, when you subscribe, you'll get new content via notifications. And of course, all our crazy show stories from our extra content, our sibling show, News of the Squared.
Yes.
Shout out Scott!
Scott!
I think you just sent an article while we were recording here. We're going to post that. And of course, we're on all the podcasting platforms that you're used to: Apple, Spotify, PodBean, Anchor, and what's the other one? Google. Yeah, that thing. That a big Google thing. That's kind of a thing, I guess. And of course, email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, that should be it for all of us here. Join us for our next one when Jeff yells out, "Wah!" or some other insidious sound. Okay, everybody.
Happy 4th. Don't blow off your fingers.
Please, or your toes. Don't do none of that bullshit. Okay?
And if you do, make sure you get us an article about it so we can use it for our show.
And we can humiliate you publicly.
Yeah, well, why not?